Brigitta Dau asked me to write down my wishes, which sounds soft and harmless until you actually do it and you realize you've been lying to yourself about what you want. She asked me to build a strategy to get there, and that's where things got interesting. And also where the yarn got involved. I'm Arletta. This is Ignite Your Inner Artist. I'm working through Brigitta Dau's book, Crafting a Better Life, Creative Approaches to Personal Growth. One episode at a time, one craft project per concept. Today, we're doing chapters 1 and 2, which means we're doing both the dreaming and the doing. And we're not leaving until both are handled. Let's go. Chapter 1. Brigitta's craft is a wish jar. The premise is simple. You get a jar, any jar. You write your wishes on slips of paper, you put them in, that's it. It sounds like something you do at a bridal shower, but stay with me. So the book says to make a wish jar. I was going to, but let's be honest. I've spent enough of my life keeping things bottled up. So instead of a jar, I'm using this pitcher because I don't want to store my wishes anymore. I want to pour them out into something real. What Brigitta is actually asking you to do isn't the pitcher or the jar. The pitcher is just the vessel. What she's asking is, what do you want? Not what do you think you should want, not what looks reasonable on paper. What do you actually want? And here's where she goes somewhere most goal-setting content doesn't. She's not asking you to write down finish lines. She's asking you to get underneath them. Why do you want it? How do you want to feel when you get there? Because once you know how you want to feel, the path gets clearer. The goal stops being abstract and starts being directional. I sat down with my slips of paper and I thought this was going to take 10 minutes. It took a while. Hitting 1,000 subscribers, presenting at Craftcation 2027, landing a brand partnership. And then I wrote one that I hadn't said out loud to anyone. I want someone to tell me that Ignite Your Inner Artist helped them. Not that they liked a video, not that the content was good, that it actually helped them, that something shifted, that they picked up needles again or showed up for themselves in some way they hadn't before. That's the one I folded up last, and it's the one I keep thinking about. Brigitta has an exercise she calls personal signature emotions. You make a list of how you want to feel, not what you want to accomplish, but how you want to feel. And then you look at your favorite memories and notice what emotions were present in them. My list: peaceful, purposeful, creative, empowered, rebellious, and useful. Rebellious made me laugh, and then I thought about it for a second and was like, yeah, that tracks. Every time I've done something I was proud of, there was a little bit of watch me in it. When I looked at my favorite memories, losing 150 pounds, winning a reading prize as a kid, discovering Craftcation for the first time, winning Ambassador of the Year at last year's Craftcation, the emotions that kept showing up were success, belonging, being seen, and proud. Not, I hit a metric, but being seen, belonging somewhere. A lot of those wishes in the picture, when I look at them through that lens, they're not about the numbers. They're about being seen, belonging to something. That reframe changed how I thought about all of them. Brigitta also covers the 80-20 principle in chapter 1, and I want to spend a minute here because it's genuinely useful. The idea: 20% of your efforts produce 80% of your results. So instead of pursuing every wish at once, which, if you're anything like me, is your default setting, what is the one goal that, if you got it, would make the others easier or more likely? She uses the Gap as an example. They tried to expand into everything and nearly collapsed. And then they went back to their core, focused, and it worked. For me, the answer was uncomfortable because I have 26 wishes in that jar, and the one that matters most for almost all of the others, consistent, high-quality videos. That's it. Not more platforms, not more formats, not more speed. The thing that moves every other wish forward is showing up, and showing up well, week after week, which is annoying because that's the hardest one. Brigitta also asks, if your dreams came true right now, would you be ready? I sat with that for a long time. The answer was not immediately yes, and that was worth knowing. Brigitta's Chapter 1 craft is the wish jar, mine a picture. My translation is a goal cast on, a project you choose specifically because it represents something you're building toward. I'm casting on the Wisconsin beanie. It's part of my gift hats project. I'm knitting a hat for everyone on my list this year. And when I thought about which wish that connected to, it wasn't the channel metrics. It was this one. Showing up generously for the people I love. Doing something with my hands that lands in someone else's hands. The logic is simple. If Brigitta's jar, my picture, is where you name the wish, the cast on is where you commit to it. You can't uncast on without actively deciding to frog. And frogging isn't failure, but it is a conscious choice. You have to decide to give up, not just drift away from it. That's accountability with texture. Every row is a day you showed up, even if the row is 6 stitches. Even if you put it down after 10 minutes because your brain was in a wildfire state and you just needed to cast on and set it back in the bag. It counts.
The wish picture isn't about getting everything you wrote down. It's about admitting what you actually want out loud to yourself. The yarn just holds you accountable. Next time, we're talking about what happens when you take that same energy to a vision board, except mine is made of yarn because, of course it is. You're not behind, you're not powerless, and you're absolutely not broken.